Hello everyone. So we are building an Angular project in which have already set up a basic project, and now we are going to take this second step on this application. So if you haven't seen my video on setup of the Angular project, I would highly recommend you to go and check that out. Then you can come to this video. In this video, we are going to play around components. Components are basically the unit of an Angular project, and we are going to see how we can create a new Angular components, how we can use that Angular component in other components as well as inside a module. First of all, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would highly recommend you and suggest you to that you should subscribe to the channel and help me grow as a YouTuber, as well as in the next time when I'm going to upload any web development video, you will get that on your feed. So let's get started with the component. So first thing which we have to keep in mind that the components are the unit of an Angular project. So if you want to build a large application, you have to divide the whole project into small modules and then divide those modules into small components. In your application, if you have multiple pages and in each pages which have multiple sections, you can divide each section into a component, and further into that you create new components for each of the elements of that sections. So let me get into detail of it by creating few components, then you will get an idea about that. So now the first step will be let's create a new component for our project. So as we are creating an e-commerce website, so first what we can do, we can create a basic product component, and then we can see how we can modify that and how we can use it for in our application. So let's get into the folder structure. So in the source and app, we have this app component, and this is the main component which we are using. So besides this, we can create a new folder name as components, and inside that we can create a new component, right? So in order to create a component, we are going to use a CLI command. So let's get to the CLI first. So in the CLI, we just have to use the ng command again, and we have to say G, which stands for generate. So you are going to say that you have to generate something. So what is this something? You can either say component, so it will create a component and you have to specify the name of that component, and instead of component you can just specify just C as well. Then you have to give the component name. So I'm going to say that components and slash, and inside this I'm going to say that component's name, which will be the product. So for now, I'm not considering any structuring of the project because we are just starting with the component. So I'm just going to create a folder name as components and the product component. So whenever we are going to run this command will be running inside this app folder. So let's try to run this. So here, when we just hit the enter, you will see that this command will generate multiple files. So now you can see that the command has created 4 different files. So first is the HTML file, which will contain the HTML part of our app component, and the second is the spec.ts, which will contain the unit test cases, which we'll look into later on. And then we have this ts file, which is the main controller of our component, and we have this SCSS file, all the styling of the component. So also we can see here that we have updated the app module.ts. So as I said that each component belongs to some particular module. So by default, it will always go to app module.ts. This module will contain this product component. If you want to specify a particular module onto which you want to add this component, then you have to specify that as well. So let's say if we have some other module, it's a name as main module, and you want to add this component to that particular module. So say --- module, and you have module, and here you have to specify the name of the module, which you can say app main or whatever you want to say. So that is something which we'll look into further in the module video. So here in the folder, you can see that a new folder name as components has been created, and then inside this we have this product component. So here you can see that is a basic component has been created. So in the HTML file, you can see that it shows product works. So it will always show a name of the component and works by default. Now let's just have a look inside the app module as well. So here by our command, we can see that the product component has been added in the ng module of this app module. So this means now this component can be used inside this module and as well as the part of this module. So let's try to use this new component in our application. So now let's first get into the main component of our application. So that will be the app component. So here in this app HTML, so we have this CSS and HTML by default, which we are going to remove. So select all and just remove this. And now just add a new div over here. So div, and inside this we can say main component. Now let's save this and see the output on the browser. To see the output, let's first run this ng-serve command, and then we are going to open it in the browser. So in this browser, we can see that we are loading this e-commerce, and this main component is being displayed over here. So let's try to add that new component inside this main component. So how to do that? So first get into your TS4 file. Here you can see we have the selector, right? So you have to copy the selector, which is actually the name of this component, and by name means that whenever we want to display or use this component anywhere, you have to use this selector. So we have to simply add the selector over here. Once I copy this app.product as an HTML tag over here, this will be included in this main component. So let's see the output on the browser. So now this product works is also added over here. So that means that the new component, which contains only this as a paragraph, is added over here. So now you get the basic idea how you can create multiple components, and you can use one component inside the other components. And also you have learned about how a component and a module is related. So in this next video, we are going to talk more about the modules and how you can create modules and add multiple components into a new module, and how you can set up a whole project using multiple modules and components. Thanks for watching, everyone. Before leaving, just like the video if you learned something from this video, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will also suggest you to share this video with all the newcomers who can learn Angular JS development from this video. Thanks everyone. Happy coding everyone.